What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Hot Mic here on a Monday afternoon where it's a little hot down here in San Diego as well. I am the outlaw John Rocha, the former outlaw John Rocha here on the John Rocha channel, joined as always by the Sneider himself, Jeff Sneider.
Hello, Johnny boy. I'm the only outlaw around here now.
Whoa, easy now. Easy, killer. Easy. We got so much to get into here. It's great to see you, Jeff. You got a brand new can of pretzel and peanut butter that you've opened up. You're ready to go. Love that stuff. But we are here to talk about all the things going on in the world of entertainment since the last Hot Mic episode, which was just a few days ago, Jeff. And there's so much to dive into with Spider-Man news with Tom Holland. There's a Batman Brave and the Bold news and James Gunn teasing Brainiac. We got a new Mando and Grogu trailer. And of course, the Jimmy Kimmel situation we will definitely be diving into as updates have coming fast and furious now over the last few hours. But remember, the Streamlabs and Super Chats are open, so send in your love, send in your support. I see only 2 Super Chats starting off. I want to get to 30 to 40 to 50 if we can today. Send in your love, send in your thoughts and questions and comments as well, because we will not be having a second show until Friday. So if you want to have your questions answered, now is the time to send them in about anything that's going on. All right, Jeff, let's not waste any time. You ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, let's jump into this first thing first. First things first, before we jump into the Kimmel thing, let's warm up to it. Let's get people to show up here for the show. But James Gunn today dropped a hint of what this film is going to be about and putting that picture on the front, which is essentially an old school diagram of the human brain here. He posts the first page of what looks to be a very thin script here, Jeff, but maybe it's long. It's long in size and what have you, but it's written by James Gunn, Man of Tomorrow. Very similar to what Matt Reeves did a few weeks ago when he dropped that first page of his Batman sequel movie. So your thoughts on this, and is this essentially Brainiac?
Yeah, it looks like a pretty obvious tease. Excuse me. It looks like a pretty obvious tease for Brainiac. I mean, why else include that diagram? Because I don't know what else he's really trying to say, unless he's, trying to throw us off the scent.
That's what I wonder. Is he trying to throw us off the scent? Is that Lex Luthor's brain? Is he trying to show us? Because that's a human brain. So is he trying to say? Why
couldn't it be Clark Kent's brain?
Oh, it could be. Well, because he's not human. He's Kryptonian. We don't know what his brain looks like, right?
Well, what if it looks the exact same?
Maybe. You never know.
I don't. I think it's a clear tease for Brainiac, and I'm surprised it's the second draft of the script. It seemed like he'd only had an outline just a few weeks ago. 60-page outline. But yeah, they're moving full steam ahead on this, and production will start next year.
Yeah, anything to take away from it though? Matt, is this the new way? Everyone's just going to take pictures of their first page of their film to get people excited, script to get people excited. Is this what we're doing now? Is this the DC way of doing things?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the new thing from DC. We got to be social media savvy. I mean, can we go one day without James Gunn making headlines in some regard? I don't know if we can, but this was worthy of a tweet, I would say.
Yeah, I would say so too. People are really excited about this as well. So yeah, I think so too. I think it absolutely looks like Brainiac. That's exciting. So now the question becomes, who's going to be cast as Brainiac? So now tongues start wagging about who might be cast. Do you think he already knows who he's casting as Brainiac, or because I can't imagine he'd already be announcing it and putting it in motion if he hasn't already kind of tapped someone behind the scenes. Have you heard anything about this?
Maybe he has. Maybe he has someone in his Brainiac. Or maybe he's just open to ideas. All right. I mean, who would have thought Matthias Schoenaerts would be like the villain in Supergirl?
Yeah, true. Or even Corn.
So who's back on the board though?
Tell me.
Young actor by the name of Daniel Day-Lewis.
Ooh, yes. Daniel said that he did not intend to retire now, all of a sudden walking that back.
He's back. So it'll be interesting to see what kinds of roles he entertains. And if he's just going to do the landmark roles every 4 or 5 years in Spielberg movies, or if he has a little bit more fun with his career this time around, having nothing left to prove to anybody.
I mean, Vandal Savage is a possibility. I kind of I like the idea of him as Alfred. If Michael Caine can play Alfred, if Jeremy Irons can play Alfred, who is Daniel Day-Lewis?
You want to waste Daniel Day-Lewis on a fucking character as boring as Alfred?
Well, Alfred, if you don't know the story behind Alfred, he was a former special forces guy in the British military. So there could be elements of that. And in some stories, he works side by side with Batman in taking down criminals in Gotham. So it could be an interesting twist if you were to play him that way. But certainly there's a lot of other characters to play.
When I was, posing that question, it wasn't really what comic book movie should we get Daniel Day-Lewis in?
Oh, we're talking Superman.
Thinking outside the box, but fair
enough. I could see it. I could see this with him. I like Daniel Day-Lewis. I think DC would be the way to go much more than Marvel, though. I can't imagine going to Marvel, but DC makes sense.
I don't think he would do either of these things.
Really? Yeah. I'll put money on it because I don't think he's as serious as we take him. I don't think he thinks he's as serious as we take him. I think he tells fart jokes. I think he tells off-color jokes. I think he busts balls. I think he's a regular guy who just happens to be supremely talented. He always talks about interviews how he keeps waiting to get found out for the shitty actor he thinks he is. So that's a guy who has a really healthy view of himself. That's fun. So I think he could actually play these kinds of roles really well. Just throwing it out there.
I do think a comedy would be great for him.
I agree. Yeah.
Even a romantic comedy.
Rom-com, that is. It could be. Mamma Mia 4, Daniel Day-Lewis. James Gunn had some more comments about Batman, Jeff. Let's get your thoughts on this. He said James Gunn he had a chat with YMH Studios, and he was providing an update for Batman Brave and the Bold. He said, none of these things are important to me when asked if Batman should have a gray and blue costume or white eyes on his cowl in the Brave and Bold. He said, what matters is the character and the story. And I think we have a really, really good story now for what's happening with Batman. And guys, what's that really matters? None of these things are important to me. And so as we're saying, this is what matters to him overall is the story and the character stuff. And he says we have a really good story on this. And Jeff, apparently our reiteration of the Andy Muschietti story got some traction over the weekend, which is really confusing to me. It's very clear that he's got his own idea for where he wants to go with Batman. I think more and more it feels like they're not going to combine these universes. Where are you at right now with these comments?
Nothing has changed for me. Nothing was said. Nothing has changed. All avenues are open.
So, okay, you don't think they're making it really clear that they're going to be separate in terms of the Batman?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Yeah, he says he loves the detective, brute expert fighting, and supernatural aspects of Batman and the world around him. So, I mean, when you throw in supernatural aspects, Jeff, that doesn't feel like a Pattinson Batman. That feels very much like a Batman Brave and the Bold, separate from the
talk. I hear a lot of talk.
Well,
we'll see what Zaslav says, or the studio's new owners.
Nah, right. Yeah. Don't get me started on that yet. Not yet. He was also talking about his Gods and Monsters plan, and he basically said, what we had already kind of assumed was going on here. He said some things have changed.
What Gods and Monsters plan?
Yeah. He said we had a basic plan, and then we hired a bunch of writers who I really respected, who came in and we kind of worked out the whole story. Now some things have changed since then for various reasons, but the basic thrust of the big story is the same. That is, what started in Superman continues in Peacemaker season 2, even though you don't have to have watched one to watch the other, and then continues in the next Superman movie, and then will continue in the movie after that, and then after that. So there was always this bigger plan that we came up with. You have to be careful because there are certain projects that were part of that plan, because my other rule is that I'm not going to green light anything without having a screenplay that I love. And there were other things that haven't worked yet. You have to be able to and willing to have the big picture in mind, but also be able to shift to any time you need to. So the pinpoints are the same, but some of the specifics have changed. Woo! This is a lot of alliteration from anxious anchors. It sounds like to
gobbledygook. It's gobbledygook. Let me tell you something. You want to hit $1 billion?
Yes.
David Corn Sweat, Robert Pattinson.
There you go. $1 billion.
There you go. That's how you get $1 billion. You want to cast somebody else to fit your version of Batman? You do what you got to do, buddy. But you ain't gonna hit $1 billion.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I think this is fascinating. Again, he's doing exactly. That's the thing. That's what we've been calling him out on. Is like He promised this thing, and now instead of saying, you know what, made some mistakes, overshot the thing, he's just saying now, well, you know, things change. Things change. This is the way it goes. Blah, 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 blah. But, you know, you came out with the announcement. You came out with this big prognostication, and now to claim that this plan is still in motion. I think it's fascinating when so many of the projects you said were going to be essential pillars of this plan of Gods and Monsters are not going to happen. So
Gunn is emboldened by the success of Superman.
He is now. Yeah, for sure. All right, let's move out of the James Gunn territory. Let's move on to some Star Wars before we get into Kimmel here. And what are your thoughts on this, Jeff? The Mandalorian and Grogu trailer dropped today, about 90 seconds, teasing the movie that's coming out next May. We got Mando, we got Grogu, we got Babu Frick, we got Zeb, we got a teenage or 20-year-old Rancor, it looks like. We also got the return of the music. We got an AT-AT falling off a snowy cliff mountain. But we also got people reacting both positively and negatively to this trailer. I like the trailer, but a lot of people didn't think it looked cinematic enough. A lot of people came in the comments for their decision on Jimmy Kimmel, which was a big surprise. So there was a lot of drama around this trailer. What are your thoughts on the trailer?
I'm not going to see this Star Wars movie unless Jimmy Kimmel's returned. Guys, thank God we all survived the last few days without Jimmy Kimmel. I mean, that was...
Don't blow the lead yet. Don't blow the lead.
It was a close call. Yeah, fair enough. The Star Wars trailer looked cool.
Yes.
Right? I thought it looked interesting. I watched season 1 of The Mandalorian. I did not watch season 2 or 3. Right?
Yeah.
Excuse me. But I really love Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
So I love the idea of exploring the huts more.
Yes.
And like that was like my favorite shot in the trailer.
Yeah, we was standing up.
Yeah, with the Rod of the Hut. So yeah, I don't think it's gonna do very well. I think it's a risky proposition for Disney because it just feels like, oh, I had to see the TV show to fully appreciate this. So I think it's gonna wind up kind of in Solo territory. And I think it's
400 million, 500 million.
Let's just say it gets to where Superman got to this year, like to 600. Like,
okay, this
is an expensive movie.
Yes,
you know, and I think it'd be very lucky to get to 600. Now, I don't have it in front of me. Rogue One, it feels like probably did 700 or 800, maybe even 900.
It did $1 billion. Rogue One did $1 billion.
Oh, it did do $1 billion. Okay, I didn't know that I cracked the barrier there.
Yeah,
I don't see this getting there. Like a Starfighter, maybe with Gosling, but yeah, this I think it's a cheap shot to be like, oh, it doesn't look cinematic.
Yeah,
because if you didn't know that this was based on a TV show, I think you'd just think it was the next episode of Star Wars.
Yeah, episode you mean in terms of theatrical installment? Is that what you mean?
I'm just like, it doesn't look like, oh, this is made for television or whatever, and then they just yeah. But like, I guess you know, and it's a fair point. What is the hook here? What is the story hook?
There was none of that in here. I think what the teaser was basically showing you was Mandalorian and Grogu are back together. They're on another mission. We're bringing in, you know, these fan favorites in Babu Frick and Zeb. We're showing you Rada, but not the face. So we're saving that. And we're teasing you Sigourney Weaver in this, basically playing the Carl Weathers character from the Mandalorian series. And that's basically what they did. But there's no real story here. There's no real anything. But I agree with you. I think people are a little spoiled nowadays with the cinematic look of TV shows, and they're trying to say that theatrical films need to look somehow much different than the TV shows, when so many of the TV shows, like fucking Andor, was $27 million an episode. That is more than most independent or medium-sized movies get for a budget nowadays. So that's $27 million an episode. So there's going to be cinematic achievement and looks to the TV shows. Now, Severance costs a lot of money. It's cinematic in its look. So the idea of jumping to theatrical is going to make this massive difference, I think is not correct, you know?
Yeah, but I did think it looked good.
Yeah.
I like some like just the old school puppetry it looked like we were getting.
Yeah, practical effects.
Yeah, practical effects. And so yeah, I will return to theaters for this, even though I feel a little bit behind. I'll try to play catch up between now and then.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, I liked it. We'll see what happens with it. When we get a full trailer, I think we'll have a different opinion. I think people have different opinions, a little more of a thing. One last thing before we get into the big meat of our conversation. Tom Holland had an accident on set here, man, for a brand new day. Deadline reported that Spider-Man Brand New Day will pause production for a week after Tom Holland suffered a mild concussion following a, quote, stunt that had gone wrong. It's not possible to film around him, apparently, and work on the movie is set to resume on September 29th. The delay is not said to impact the scheduled July 31st, 2026 release date. He said it was described that he cracked his head in a fall and was treated for a mild concussion. A woman thought to be a stunt double was also taken to hospital in an ambulance. No one else was affected during the incident. So some scary news there for Tom Holland there, Jeff.
Yeah, I hope Tom Holland is okay. Being concussed is never fun. I don't know what he was doing or in the middle of. Was it like a stunt gone wrong kind of thing, or just an accident or something that he did? It didn't hit his mark. Regardless, it's just glad that he is all right and that nothing more serious happened.
Well, and this can happen on sets, right, Jeff? When you don't want to play the CGI game, or you don't want to play the current AI game, you want to go to practical effects. And everyone was cheering about the practical effects of him swinging through these buildings as we saw in those videos. But this is what can sometimes happen with practical effects is things go wrong. Actors slip and fall, get hurt. So, yeah, hopefully he's okay and he'll be fine. You ever been concussed yourself?
Yeah, once or twice. Yes. I feel like I have a concussion the whole time I'm doing this show.
How dare you?
No, I mean, listen, we do some hardcore sledding in Massachusetts.
Sledding.
That's right. We build some ramps with the snow. We catch a little air. I've been concussed.
Did Uwe Boll, did he concuss you in the boxing match or no?
I can't say he did. I can't say he did, although he did hit me in the back of the head. So
that's not allowed. It's a rabbit punch. That's not allowed in boxing. It's a cheap shot.
I guess I shouldn't have turned my back to him
though. Yeah, fair point. All right, well, there you go. I wanted to knock all those out. Let's get into the big meat of the story here. We got 400 minutes. Let's do it. Send in your Streamlabs and Superchats. We only have 4 Superchats. Come on, people. Send in your love as we're going live here on a Monday. All right, let's get into it. Jimmy Kimmel, our long national nightmare is over. Jeff, Jimmy Kimmel is returning to late night TV tomorrow night, this quickly, after the result of, according to Dominic Patton over there at Deadline, the result of days of meetings and negotiations with top Disney execs that only came to a resolution this Monday as we're recording this episode. Disney spokesman said last Wednesday we made the decision to suspend production on the show to avoid further inflaming a tense situation and emotional moment of our country. It is a decision we made because we felt some of the comments were ill-timed and thus insensitive. We have spent the last days having thoughtful conversations with Jimmy, and after those conversations, we reached the decision to return the show on Tuesday. But this is also after a lot of backlash happened for Disney over the last few days. Senators on both sides of the aisle calling out Disney for capitulating to Trump and his desire for control and authoritarian control of speech. A number of Hollywood actors and creatives co-signed a letter written by the ACLU calling out ABC for their decision. 400 of them, including Meryl Streep, Robert De Niro, Olivia Rodrigo, others. Also, Pedro Pascal called it out. Tatiana Maslany from She-Hulk told everybody to cancel their Disney Plus subscription. Howard Stern told people to cancel. He said he canceled his Disney Plus subscription. And that
was terrifying. A terrifying 12 hours today. What is the status of Howard Stern's Disney Plus subscription? Has he resubscribed since this news hit? We go live to Variety's office.
But also, Michael Eisner, who is said to be a really good friend of Bob Iger's, called out the company for capitulating, and it affected the stockholder. Here's where the numbers really lie. But stockholder, the company, Eisner is also one of the company's biggest stockholders, and its price has taken a hit since the scandal erupted. It is currently down around 3.7% from its high on Wednesday, and at a market capitalization of $202.5 billion. That represents a loss of around $7.4 billion in stockholder value, and that it's going to go down, according to Mark Ruffalo, a lot further if they cancel this show. So this was a big deal. It was resolved. And according to a source close to the negotiations, Jimmy Kimmel didn't give an inch. and ABC apparently doesn't know what he's going to say tomorrow night. So, Jeff, I gave you the whole lead up here. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, so much for killing free speech. I mean, Jimmy Kimmel's coming back on the air, and he's going to be allowed to say everything that he wanted to say. And when we were talking about, well, maybe what if he's not allowed to say what he wanted to say? Who are we talking about censoring him? Not the government, Disney, ABC.
Encouraged by the government, by Brendan Call.
Everything's encouraged and this and that. People have their own free will, right? I honestly feel vindicated over the events of the last few days. Like I said, that Jimmy Kimmel would back. It was obvious that he would be back. I know everyone was, quoting that Kimmel staffer being like, I don't know if there's a path forward for this.
Right.
And it was like, this is a temporary suspension. It's a few fucking nights without Kimmel. It was for his best interest, right? Because lest he go out and say something that, sparks a match and inspires some other goddamn shooting or something. Mm-hmm. Best thing to do, take him off the air, let things cool down. The guy is now a hero of the left, right?
Well, not just of the left.
Basically a martyr of free speech, right? You're right. It was because there were people on the right who were like, okay, so Jimmy Kimmel, best thing that ever happened to this guy was sitting out 4 nights.
Right. But listen, I get this. You have an angle you want to play, and I get it. And I've read all of Jordan Rumi saying the same nonsense. To me, it was you're all focusing on the result, and you're not conveniently focusing on the reasons how we got here. And Trump over the weekend at that rally, quote unquote, memorial, said the same. It was pushing it even farther. And according to the reporting from Dominic Patton at Deadline, that ABC initially did this, maybe it was to save him, but also maybe it was because it was an inflamed situation and they didn't want any more drama coming out. They realized that no matter what they do, it's not going to appease him. According to Dominic Patton and the conversations he had with high-level people at Disney, it was not going to appease Trump. He was going to go farther. So they thought, well, fuck this. We're going to push back now, and we're going to stop this now, and they're bringing Kimmel back. Whatever the results are, the Kimmel's a hero of the left or all that kind of shit, those are ancillary benefits. The truth is here that the president, through Brendan Carr, tried to step on the freedom of speech that Jimmy Kimmel has. People pushed back en masse, finally pushed back on this situation. Disney lost billions by making this decision, and now they relented. And the relented is so bad that Kimmel isn't even having to do an apology or say anything that is going to capitulate to Trump. And I think that's what happened here.
I disagree. I think if you listen to Bill Simmons and Cousin Sal's podcast, which aired like last night,
noted intelligence guys. Yes, go ahead.
Well, yes. I mean, it's his cousin, so it seems like it's probably better intelligence than what the media is giving people.
You mean the Kimmel because he works for Kimmel, right? Exactly.
Cousin Sal is
yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel's cousin. That's why he's Sal.
You're right.
And he said, "This is all being blown out of proportion. Not that big a deal. I'm not that worried for Jimmy at all." Deadline says right here. However, individuals close to the action insist that outside pressures or critiques, such as all these petitions, we got 400 celebrities. Well, what happens if it was 300 celebrities? Would they be like, well, we need 400 to take action? Why wasn't it 500 celebrities? It didn't matter. Okay, these petitions mean nothing. So individuals close to the action insist that outside pressures or critiques had no significant impact on coming to a timely resolution. Okay, all the people canceling their fucking Disney Plus, they'll be right back the next time they want to watch something. Okay, what is there to even watch on Disney Plus right now? What is this big stand that everybody is taking?
Well, I mean, they rushed the release of this trailer today to try to smooth things over and get people back on board. And instead, people use that trailer as an avenue to go after them for canceling Jimmy Kimmel. See, I think the thing suspending Jimmy Kimmel, shall I say. So I think they saw no matter what they were going to do, they were going to get fucked. I was watching Dominic Patton on White House, whatever it is, the MSNBC show that Nicole Wallace does. And he said, yes, they're claiming that it had, but actually the people were affected by this because Iger is super sensitive to the criticism of this stuff, just like they were in the Don't Say Gay bill.
About his legacy. That's what I think he's sensitive to, is the talk about how it's going to affect his legacy.
It'll look like he was the first one to bend the knee of the big people to Trump. That's what it would look like, and he didn't want that to be his legacy. And neither did Dana Walden, who's apparently supposed to take over from him, or rumored to be taking.
Again, to me, they were doing the talent a favor by stepping in and appearing to be the bad guy, even though it was Jimmy Kimmel. Whether we were offended or not by what he said, what he said did offend some people. So
what? Welcome to America. Grow the fuck up. I mean, the right has spent 10 years calling us snowflakes, Jeff. You can't fucking say that. You can't grab your feelings and be clutching your pearls. If when the left was making comment, when the right was making comments and the left was saying, hey, we need you to stop saying this stuff, or we don't like you saying this stuff, the fuck your feelings crowd all of a sudden has feelings? Fuck off, man.
Both sides are totally hypocritical, which is why it's
both
so
extreme.
Silly to take sides, right? Everyone's like, "Oh, I'm siding with Kimmel." No one thinks this is like a good thing, but at the same time,
a lot of people thought it was a good thing. What are you talking about? The whole rally was full of people saying it was a good thing. Sorry, the whole memorial was full of people saying it was a good thing, and that they weren't going to stop. Jeff, they said it straight up. This is just the beginning. Hell, even Trump over the weekend when he was interviewed by NPR said, you guys are next. What the fuck? That is absolutely authoritarian.
It's just fuck, John, okay? He didn't, at no point, John, did the FCC ever investigate the Jimmy Kimmel show, right?
No, they didn't.
They never came after them at all. They never, and that's what Brendan Carr said today. And no way did I intend
don't tell me you're going to believe him. Yeah, but it's bullshit.
Right? In no way did that say, oh, we're going to start coming after people's licenses. And that is what the free speech thing would be. So all this free speech talk, I just think like it was just something to get people like rallied behind this. His free speech is not being impacted at all.
Well, no.
It never was.
Well, I don't know if it never was, but what certainly was. If you can make a comment and then Sinclair Broadcasting, a hardcore right-leaning group of television stations, goes, we're not going to do this. And Nexstar, who's trying to curry favor with the Trump system, goes, ABC could have pushed back and said, you know what, fuck you. We're going to take our programming off your networks. Then what the hell are you going to put up there? They could have been a battle here. And I think what ABC was trying to do, and look,
give it a few days to figure it out.
I don't envy ABC because I don't think ABC or Disney, unfortunately, ABC Disney is always stuck in the middle because I think there are 50% of people who enjoy it from the right, all the Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, all that shit, and then 50% from the left. So whichever decision they make, they're always getting skewered by both sides. It is a place you don't want to be in. So it's an unenviable position to be in for Disney. I totally get it. But I mean, you're trying to paint it in a certain way, in a narrative. That's your narrative, but it's not necessarily the truth. This idea that, we're going to be the bad guys for Jimmy. We're going to take the hits for Jimmy. That could possibly have been the reason, although no reporting supports that at all. And people leak like crazy out of Disney.
No, John, the only thing that the reporting doesn't support is that Trump knew anything about this before you or I.
That's nonsense.
The idea that Donald Trump knew about Kimmel's being suspended before you and me is crazy.
Of course he did. Of course. That's not crazy. It's absolutely logical. 100% logical. Mm-hmm. The man lives by people are loyal to him and will do only things that he wants them to do. Hell, he put out a tweet over the weekend essentially telling Pam Bondi to go after all of his political enemies. You
are so wrapped up, dude. You are one of these people whose daily mood is affected by what Donald Trump does. The fact that you're even quoting Trump tweets to me, I don't what are we talking about here?
You can't go, I'm ignorant of everything, but I'm going to speak knowledgeably about it. It doesn't make sense. My daily mood is not affected by that.
I'm able to see clearly. It's no different than when we talk about Star Wars and you guys are all blinded by your fandom. You're too close to it. You need a writer who just knows how to tell a good story and doesn't know about Star Wars to tell a good story.
But look, I'm not gonna trust the guy who watched the surgery. I'm gonna trust the guy who studied how to become a surgeon. You know what I'm saying? There's two different things when you look at it. Okay. My thing is, I get you. My daily, first of all, let's correct that. My daily mood is not affected by the orange man in the White House. Okay. Do I get upset occasionally? Sure. But I live a pretty good life. I make money. I hang out with my friends and do shows, and I have a wonderful lady. Okay. My mood is not affected by this madman. But I do think that sometimes he goes too far, and you've got to push back on it and call it out. And being aware of what he's doing is not a negative thing to have in life. What I think is funny is like people who say they're rebels and all this kind of stuff, and yet they always capitulate to Trump. And then you're trying to give him some pass, like, oh, he would have never known. Brandon Carr acted completely out of his own. That is utter nonsense.
Does anybody have free will, or is our
no?
How many people in the country right now are being controlled by Trump? Does anybody have free will here?
That's a more complex question than you think. So,
I mean, again, just this weekend, the response to things, it's like I can be on the liberals or the left side about abortion and gay marriage and all these issues that make me a liberal. But if it's like, if you're not 100% pro Jimmy Kimmel, then you're a fucking MAGA racist piece of shit.
Well,
What?
But I think only the extreme people do.
Dude, and it's literally like the Seinfeld episode where at the end where with Amanda Peet, where she is perfect, and then she's like, except for the blacks and the Jews, and Jerry's like, what the fuck, right? That's the right, where they'll just say like crazy shit, and you'll be like, I can't get on board with this. But the left is just so insufferable all weekend. Just so insufferable, John.
Both of them, both extreme sides are insufferable. That's the real problem, Jeff. Both sides of the extreme sides are insufferable. I mean, you're watching Stephen Miller essentially deliver a Goebbels-like speech on fucking at the rally.
I didn't watch him deliver the speech.
Wow.
What are you talking about?
I did, because I want to be aware of what these people who are in charge of our country are saying and doing, Jeff. That's not a negative. You're making knowledge somehow seem like a negative to have about a situation.
There's knowledge, and I fall asleep every night listening to CNN versus Fox
Well,
News.
I don't do that. I watch shows at night. So, but I get up in the morning and I will read the paper, and in the afternoon I'll watch Deadline White House on MSNBC. Yes, because I want to be informed of this stuff. And by the way, I've been that way since I was 10 years old. It's got fuck all to do that it's Trump. I've been this way since I was 10 years old, reading about Ronald Reagan, reading about Bush, Clinton, Obama. I'm constantly aware of this.
I'm just so sick of the sky is falling every fucking time anything Trump does, and it's like the sky is not falling. No one's free speech is being impugned. John and I are still doing this show and saying whatever we want. Like, everybody relax.
Listen, I'd love to have your rosy view on everything, but people are getting snatched off the streets.
That's a different issue.
But I'm just saying it's all that's happening in our world. And as the son of Latino immigrants, of course, that's an issue that affects me emotionally and personally. So you're seeing that happen. And it could be my mom they snatch because they're trying to hit quotas. So these are little things. But look, it's all connected, Jeff. This idea of authoritarianism is all connected. Controlling the press, and especially now when you see if Ellison succeeds in buying Warner Brothers and essentially owning CNN, they'll now have 2 movie studios, a bunch of networks that are going to be right-leaning. And this is all dangerous, Jeff, because we have to have a balance. The balance is important, is essential. But you've got people on the right who are saying they want to wipe out the left completely, and that's scary. And it all begins with the press. It all begins with the media. It all begins with shutting down people who dare to speak out about this kind of stuff. And so it becomes dangerous and a slippery slope. That's the issue I have here, Trump wants to go after Kimmel verbally. Knock yourself out. Put a bunch of Truth Social posts, no problem. You start having your FCC guy. We can do this the hard way, or we can do this the easy way. Your fucking choice, ABC. That's when you get into mobster bullshit, and that should not be a part of the government, for God's sake. That's my point.
All right. I'm just, again, a lot. Just feels like anytime somebody trips on a sidewalk, it's Donald Trump's fault.
Oh my God.
Like, I really hate being in this position of having to defend this guy, but I just have not seen a single piece of reporting that it backs up where you just said Brandon Carr, he told Brandon Carr to do something. He didn't.
Well, you say he hasn't looked at it. You say
he expresses an opinion, and then Brendan Carr does something on his own accord to service that, to play towards that opinion.
Nobody does anything on their own accord in that administration without his approval. If you study or read anything from any of the analysis, the Bulwark, CNN, even Fox News, sometimes it's very clear that these guys work in service to the president, and you have to factor that in.
Well, if he's able to run a country and micromanage podcast appearances on a random weekend day, my hat's off to Trump. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, he goes golfing every weekend, so clearly it's not that big of a job to him overall. But I mean, what are the consequences? Let's move past this, because clearly we're not going to agree on this. But let's move past this. What do you think are the consequences here of this kind of a situation? Let's be honest. I know you love to make fun of all this stuff, but like the truth is, like, does this affect people going forward working with Disney? Does this affect people in their reactions to things that Disney was so quick to capitulate in this situation? Or was this an unusual situation because you had an assassination of a podcaster, and that was the problem? A very famous right-wing podcaster, and that was a problem that people didn't want to walk into a minefield.
I don't think this does anything. I don't think anyone is like, oh, I got offered a role in a big Marvel movie.
Right.
But it's Disney, and they suspended Jimmy Kimmel for 4 days a couple months ago. So I'm not going to do it. Like, I just, like, in no planet do I see that happening. I can't wait for one of these 400 people who signed this fucking petition to sign on to do something at Disney.
Well, listen, I will concede you on the letter. I thought the letter was as flaccid as it comes, because unless you're saying we refuse to work with Disney in the future, they don't even name Disney in the damn letter. Unless you say that and you're all signing it, then it means nothing. It's basically Gal Gadot and the Imagine song. It is not a very strong statement of purpose. I think it was all the other stuff that, I mean, even, and they're mentioning the Lilith Fair documentary. I don't think that was a big deal that Jewel and Sarah McLachlan didn't play at the premiere of that. I get it, but I don't think it was that.
I heard that's the whole reason this ended was because Jewel refused to go on, and Bob Iger's like, "Oh my God, get Kimmel back on the air."
First of all,
that's
Jewel,
what I'm talking about. Like,
Jewel, who performed at Trump's inauguration, ain't got no fucking leg to stand on here. But like, this is just that element of it was a little bit nonsense. The letter was nonsense. It meant nothing unless you're saying
it was political fucking farce. It was all good for ratings. It's just, give me a break, dude. This was like never a big deal.
All right, I think it was a big deal. I just think you're downplaying.
I'll tell you when it is a big deal. I'll let you know. But on the Sneider meter, this did not rank as a big deal whatsoever.
Okay. I think if the Avengers Doomsday cast had walked out in mass, I think that's a whole nother ballgame, right? But maybe they're done shooting, so maybe they couldn't. But like, I think that would have been a bigger, more powerful statement. But the truth is, everybody needs to eat, Jeff, and they need to work.
The Avengers cast in like the larger world means nothing. Like,
I'm just saying,
Avengers cast.
I don't. You think Disney is like Disney's in trouble, and you're like saying anytime anybody does anything against Disney, it's like it's not a big deal. They'll survive it. They'll overcome it. It's like, no, it's not really the truth anymore. Or else Iger wouldn't be cutting budgets. If they were living like Apple, Iger wouldn't be cutting budgets. Come on. This stuff does affect them.
Jimmy Kimmel is going to leave ABC at the end of this contract, and he is going to start his own thing, and it's going to be huge.
And Colbert should be a part of it as well. I would love to see that. Faisal says, Rocha's obsessed with politics. Yeah, fuckface, I am, because they matter to our world, and they matter about what goes on in our world. I would love if more people were obsessed with politics so that we could have rational conversations, and we wouldn't have people going, oh, politics. Stop talking politics. My feelings are getting hurt. I
don't have time for politics, dude. I got 300 movies a year to see in theaters.
Yeah, I know that seeing fake movies about fake characters and fake scenarios and fake worlds is more important than real shit.
That is why people watch this show. It is so that I can tell them what movies to see, because I see everything.
But you're not always right. You're not always
right. Oh, I know I'm right.
All right, let's move on from this topic. Thanks to everybody who's been for the lively chat. Jeff, let's move on to something else. Speaking of horror shows, what about this? Zach Cregger says that he has absolutely worked on a Gladys prequel. He says it's real, according to THR. He said, quote, I was ready. I had it kind of in my pocket before the movie came out. It's real, and I've been talking to Warner Brothers about it. There's a story, and I'm pretty excited about it. It's not bullshit. So, Jeff, what are your thoughts on this? Do we see the great Amy Madigan come back, or are they going to pull a Furiosa and bring in an Anya Taylor-Joy to play her as a younger person?
I don't know what the plan is right now. I don't know like how far back it's set. Obviously, if she's in her 30s or 40s, I think that would be tough for Amy Madigan to play no matter what.
Yeah.
So, I do think that there probably would be some sort of recasting. I just don't know if there are scenes of Gladys, which I imagine that there are.
Yeah.
What prompted her to reach out and make this visit, to make this house call, essentially. I think that you probably would see her back in some capacity.
Do you think this could ruin the mystery of the movie? Isn't this kind of dangerous to open the door to this?
Yeah, but when there's money to be made, no one's like, oh, but the mystery of the movie's worth $200 million. Like, yeah, they're gonna crack that shit wide open. It'll probably go after Resident Evil. I wouldn't be surprised. I want to take advantage of this.
I can't believe he's getting paid $20 million for Resident Evil. That's amazing to me, man. $20 million for Resident Evil, Jeff. For
a movie with Austin Abrams and Paul Walter Hauser, Resident Evil, those movies were successful. I didn't really see them.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I'll see this one unless it looks just like great. Like, it's just not my kind of IP.
Yeah. Yeah.
Paying $20 million for it seems steep.
Yeah, I agree. One last thing, Black Phone 2 reviews are coming in, and they're pretty positive. Jeff, do you have a screening lined up?
Are you telling me that early reviews are positive from the genre crowd?
I mean, Slash Film liked it. Roger Ebert liked it. Gizmodo, Slant, and I don't know Dixerto. But yeah, a lot of positive reviews here. My brother Rafael Montemayor liked it over at Slash, so respect to him. But yeah, Jermaine Lucier liked it, bro. I mean,
listen, I actually believe the reviews this time. I do think that the sequel is going to be better than the first movie. Now, I wasn't a huge fan of the first movie, so when everyone's like, "Oh my god, the Black Phone was so good," yeah, it was a decent idea, and that was not that well executed. But this looks a lot more fun. It does look very Nightmare on Elm Street-y. You can't forget that all the critics are in the tank already for Derrickson.
Yeah. So like Scott Derrickson, yeah.
And Massa Worm, who I used to write with Ain't It Cool News.
Right.
Cargill. And I'm gonna check it out. It's on my list of movies to see this fall.
Is it? Did you get a screening yet, or no? Is it probably a little ways off? No,
I did not.
It's screened in LA. If all these LA critics are responding to it.
Right? Fantastic Fest. I think that's where they saw it.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, it was the people who were away this weekend.
There's too many fucking festivals. There's too many goddamn festivals.
You're telling me, bro.
Jesus Christ. Fantastic Fest. Oh, what's the Outlook? Is it the Outlook one? What's the Outlook Fest? Isn't that the one with the
Overlook Hotel Fest?
The Overlook one. I was like, what the fuck, man? It's too many. Just show it one place, a con, and that's it. No more.
It's the same 40 critics that just go and drink beer and eat a lot of food.
Yeah. I mean, I'm tempted, but then I'd have to do that. And I don't want to do that, to be honest. I like my home. All right. Do you want to talk anything else? Or shall we get into the questions? I know we always keep this show a little bit shorter than the other one. So shall we get
questions? Give me the questiones.
Get into questions here.
Yeah.
Vincent Sparacho says, "Hey, John and Jeff, I noticed Matt Reeves is credited on IMDb as a producer for both Clayface and Dynamic Duo. How involved would he have to be on those projects to merit a producing credit? Appreciate you both." I think it's more part of his deal, right, Jeff? Because of being in Disney now and what have you. I don't think it's because he's necessarily involved in the creation of those two projects. Yeah. Am I wrong on this?
I think it may just be anything involving Batman. Matt Reeves has a producing credit on.
Good point. Might have been in his deal. Dennis Hoffman says, "Huge fan, fellas. What's up, Dennis? Look at his. Dennis, come here with this fucking cheeks. 28 years later broke me, Jeff. Sorry it didn't land for you, but for this father, I was profoundly moved."
Good for you, Dennis. I'm happy for you. I'm glad you liked it.
It's out on HBO Max, right? Or Netflix. I think it's on one of the. I think it's on Flix, actually. Netflix.
Yeah.
So yeah. Watch it, people. Watch it. See what you think. But I hear you, man. The Aaron Taylor Johnson stuff, pretty moving. Bad Sinister McCall says, "Regal has a different horror movie ranging from Black Lagoon in 3D to Scream every day of October. Do theaters benefit financially from this, and how?" Well, yeah, because people love to go in the mood for horror films, and they love to see them in theater. It's not like Christmas. Like, you can't do, if you did Christmas movie every day, I don't think it would sell out quite, but people like being in the dark seeing a horror film. And I'm sure they'd lease these films at really inexpensive amounts so that they can make some money off of these things. And it's always great to rescreen a film. People will buy it afterwards, right? What do you think, Jeff?
Yeah, I think that if they weren't making money off of this stuff, they wouldn't do it. Those kinds of titles do get a certain, horror movie lover who's either, oh, this is one of my favorites, or, oh, I've never seen this movie before.
Right.
And yeah, that's worth throwing it on a screen or dedicating one screen for the month to it.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm so curious, though, Matthew Polanco, Jeff's indifference to how oppressive the Trump administration is very telling. I wonder what it's saying, Matthew, since it's so telling to you.
It's saying that you haven't been oppressed yet. And if you get to be oppressed...
You're right. The Jews know nothing about oppression.
No, well, hold on a fucking minute. I didn't see you.
I don't go anywhere. I don't hear free Palestine every time I leave my apartment.
I didn't see you out there in Egypt. I didn't see you out there in the Holland. Come on, cut it out. You have not. I mean, like, I get it, of course. I mean, but like, he's not saying.
Where do you think I got this pub mix, John? From the desert, okay? It was stone tablets and pub mix out there.
Of course, I'm not saying. Of course, Jewish people have suffered a lot of oppression through the history, and of course, the hot button stuff that's going on now. A lot of divisions going on in the world and all that. But I mean, you personally, you have not been, oppressed by the Trump administration, so you don't.
As far as you know. As far as you know.
Okay. Please enlighten me if that changes. Nathan Drake says, was Jeff concussed after the Uwe Boll fight? We answered that already. Thank you, Nathan.
I mean, I did throw up, but that was more from the adrenaline surge than being hit in the back of the head.
Kyle says, do you think Disney is banking on merch for Mando and Grogu? I'm eager for Star Wars in theaters, even if it is a popcorn movie. I like Favreau. Thoughts? Yeah, I would say they're banking on merch for Mando and Grogu. Yeah, of course. Because of
that's why they greenlit it, to sell that little green guy.
Yeah. He's going to be a bigger part of the trailer once the full trailer gets released. Guaranteed. Justin Duck says, any updates on The Bride? Yeah, Maggie Gyllenhaal's The Bride, Jeff. We got any updates?
I mean, other than I think that the trailer looks fucking great. I mean, good, hell of a cast, hell of a price tag as well. It's going to be a tough sell, but
why wasn't that a Fantastic Fest or anything? Is it not ready to screen yet?
Yeah, it's too early. Okay.
John Hoban says, Batman with supernatural aspects. Jensen Ackles for the win. I'm going to keep trying to speak this into existence. Hey, let me ask you this. It's a good comment to springboard off this. I was doing the Christian Harloff show this morning with Roxy Stryer, your friend Roxy Stryer, who loves you madly. Unfortunately, you guys are going to pass each other in the sky. She's leaving on Thursday. You're landing on Thursday in Boston.
Oh, okay.
But she says that she believes that Gunn has already cast his Batman and that she thinks it is Brendan Sklenar, and that all the things that he's saying now are just kind of to say things to play the game, but that he's already picked out his Batman. Do you agree with her, or do you think it's much more in question than she does?
I do not think that he has cast his Batman. I think I would know, respectfully.
Do you think he's cast his Batman at all, even if it isn't Brendan Sklenar?
No, and I don't think that it is Brandon Sklenar or that it will be Brandon Sklenar.
I agree with that. I don't think it'll be Brandon Sklenar. All right, Kyle Wilson says, imagine the ratings for Kimmel tomorrow. Well, yeah, I'll be watching tomorrow and doing a live reaction to it. So tomorrow night. So it's going to be big, Jeff.
I'm getting tickets.
I'll tell you this right now. If you really got us 2 tickets, I would drive up tomorrow to see the taping with you. No bullshit.
Yeah, I'll use my contacts at ABC. Listen, I think it will be huge. I think the ratings will be ginormous.
Yeah.
Which is, that's part of the reason they took them off.
Al Wilson says, I'll be watching Jimmy tomorrow. # predictions. I think Damon absolutely shows up. Sarah Silverman maybe shows up, which has been a while.
Supposedly, Damon is not showing up as of now.
As of now. I just think I have a feeling he'll show up. Who else could show up, Jeff? Who's your predictions? Like, what would be the perfect person to show up, do you think?
De Niro, George Clooney.
Oh, Clooney, right. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, De Niro definitely. Miguel Zion says, Did you see Michael Mann with Leo on a premiere? Is it more likely now that they're doing Heat? Any news on Vincent Hanna casting? Any fan cast from y'all? Well, I mean, it was kind of pushed last week, right? That DiCaprio was pretty much a lock for Heat 2. Where are you at on
it? Give me what you got. Give me what you got. No, I don't have a whole much.
All right.
I don't know. Like what?
I think he's in it. I think it'd be damn. How can you be a man and not want to be in Heat 2, bro? Like that's just you got to be.
It could also be a terrible idea having worked with De Niro before. Like he just knows better than to steer clear of it. I don't know. I honestly have no idea. I just know I've been obsessed with Heat all week. Just I told you. I just read the script.
Yeah,
that Edie was Chinese. Blew my mind.
Yeah. Any news on Vincent? Any fan casting of Vincent Hanna? Not really.
Yeah, not really.
Yeah. John Darius, this question: how soon do you predict WB is officially bought by a new company before they're split in April? Also, apparently, Gunn's contract ends in 2026. How likely is the new studio WB to renew it? Well, I mean, Netflix is the rumor is Netflix threw its hat in the ring for WB, which would be a real kind of shit out of left field type of situation. But Gunn's contract, I think they're going to extend it. Don't you, Jeff? Don't they want to see what happens with these movies?
I'm actually surprised that Gunn's contract has not been extended yet. I thought it would be by now, and it would.
They're waiting for the purchase.
No.
Okay.
No. I would expect that renewal to come soon.
Okay. There you
go. How soon do you bring this? Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Miguel Zion says, starting a chef new job. Any unique general ideas and or tips on how to approach a first day week on a new job? Wait, a chef new job? I don't know what that means. Are you a chef or something else? Miguel, clarify that in the chat. But
well, yeah, if you're a chef, then I don't think that my advice would apply. But if you weren't a chef, I would say bring donuts.
Oh,
always show up the first day with donuts.
Yeah, absolutely. I always think keep your head down, listen to the people who have been veterans in the job, and take the information that you need to take, but don't draw attention to yourself. And then as you get more comfortable in the space, you'll know where to open your mouth and where not to. So that's the way I always look at a new job. Miguel Zion says, any fave first day on the job movies? Are there movies first day on the job?
Yeah.
Man of Steel?
Called Training Day.
Oh, Lord. That wasn't his first day on the job.
It basically was.
It's not his first day on the job.
You know what else? You know what else is a first day on the job movie?
Go ahead.
7.
No, it is not. Stop it. It's his first day on the job. Oh, well, I guess it's the first day on the job in New York. I guess you would say it.
First day of a new job.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. That's true. I guess so. Yeah.
And it's not necessarily New York, but go
on. Right. It's not. Right. Yeah. All right. There we go. Let's move on from that. Connor Prezalowski says, who is the writer for Brave and the Bold? Laugh my ass off. If Gunn were confident, he would announce it like he did with Anna Nagara. Yeah, he keeps saying he's got a story that he's really proud of. So who wrote it, Jeff? What are your thoughts? What are your guesses?
I have no guesses.
Come on. Oh, then you have answers? Do you have answers?
No. Okay. I just think the movie's dead. I don't think it's happening.
Brave and the Bold. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I am savvy. Mike96 TV says, we might not agree, Jeff, but you still the GOAT. There you go, Jeff.
Thank you. So it's definitely I am savvy. Okay, it wasn't Mike Joyce.
No, Mike Joyce is different. And he's white.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, I won't be answering any more questions from Mike Joyce. So.
Why? What did Mike do to you? What did he say?
Mike knows what he said.
Oh, Mike. Why you always cross the line, Mike? Kyle Wilson says, regardless of opinions, y'all show is a good forum for the First Amendment. Any ideas for new amendments? Much love, gents. Yes, no dictators ever. That's the big amendment for me. we must always have a balanced Congress. 50 senators on each side, 50 Democrat, 50 Republican, and they can figure it out. And same thing with House of Representatives. That would be my new amendment. We can never have one party in full control of the government ever again.
Mine would be never start Malik Neighbors. No, it's that Jimmy Kimmel absolutely demands. He needs the opportunity to say whatever he wants to the entire country every night. He has earned that right.
There you go. Not on the Sinclair networks. They're preempting him for news, apparently. Discussions ongoing. I am Savvy Mike 96 TV says, what's the most underrated, overrated movie so far this year? For me, Together was underrated and Weapons was overrated. Wow. I mean, I'd have to say Thunderbolts is underrated because people didn't go see it. That was a damn good movie.
Night Call. Hulu. Watch it. Night Call. Everybody. Trust me.
Underrated.
Okay.
What's your
overrated? Obviously, it's Sinners.
How dare you? Don't start that. There must be other overrated movies. Life of Chuck, isn't that overrated? Wouldn't you put that above Sinners? At least you could say some good things about Sinners.
Overrated by critics without eyeballs. By me, it couldn't be less rated.
That's what I'm saying. So, most overrated movie in 2025. It seems like Life of Chuck is the choices. What else? Weapons, Flight Risk, Snow White. Well, Snow White wasn't overrated because nobody liked the movie. Hurry Up Tomorrow. Oh, interesting. All right. Matt Scissor McCall says movies are the best escape from dumb politics. Rank these 5 Universal monster movies: Black Lagoon, Frankenstein, Invisible Man, Wolfman, and Mummy. Well, I'll go Frankenstein, the Wolfman, Invisible Man, Black Lagoon, and the Mummy. That's how. What about you, Jeff?
Oh, God.
Have you even seen these?
Yeah, really. I'll go Frankenstein, Mummy, Wolfman, Invisible Man, Black Lagoon.
There you go. C Black says, any updates on Doomsday or the Marvel MCU? Jeff, you hear anything?
Nope.
How much stock do you put in those pictures that are coming out of Shanghai Disney? Do you put any stock in those photos?
What are the photos? I'm not terminally online.
What the fuck else are you doing? What else are you doing?
I have peanut butter to eat. Hey, does peanut butter just eats itself?
Gabagool. Shay Markel says, you see Frank Grillo dropping dimes about PEDs? No, I did not. What's going on with Frank Grillo? Did you watch?
Oh, dropping dimes about PEDs. I mean, I'm sure everybody's doing them. Grillo's the guy who's actually in the gym. He's putting in the work. Everybody, all these other pretty boys just show up. The work's done for him.
Yeah. I don't see anything here. No, I haven't seen anything for him.
Jay's having private conversations with Frank Grillo.
I was reluctant. Little by little, became the no. Yeah.
Do people think this is a bathrobe? This isn't a bathrobe.
That's a sweater there.
This is called a cardigan, okay? It's called high fashion. Get it?
Yeah. People say I'm the emotional one. People say I'm the emotional one.
Just get it right, people.
Planet Yavin says Hot Take Superman is overrated. Oof. No.
Ouch.
Yikes.
Who's that? Kevin Feige?
I mean, I would fucking love it if Kevin Feige watched our show under a different suit.
He does.
Amazing. That would be amazing.
Trump may watch it too.
Who? You think James Gunn watches this show? No way.
Donald J. Trump. What's he? Busy running the country?
I can't stand that Rocha guy, but Jeff's my cup of tea. Let's see here. Okay, let's get to these Streamlabs. Jackie Brown. Says, number one, Jeff, forgive me, but after what Trump said at the funeral, do you really believe that he wants what is best for the United States? And two, are both you happy or just a bit jealous of Stuckman right now, being YouTubers and all? How are you both doing? Thanks. Well, I don't think Jeff saw anything from the rally, aka Memorial. Jeff, did you?
Rally, aka Memorial.
I mean, come on,
You're right. I mean, I saw that he was like, I don't respect my opponents.
Yeah, I hate them.
What's best for them. And I'm like, yeah, that is who we elected. I mean,
sadly,
not who I elected.
Right.
Who we elected, being true to himself. What did you expect this guy to say?
Yeah, I think at every turn because human beings, I think, are natural hopeful people. I think there are cynical people, obviously, but I think human beings overall are hopeful. So they always hope for him to say the right thing.
Right, and they're just shocked over and over and over.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Is himself.
Yeah.
I did not freak out over that. I saw people were like, a president should never say this. It's like, guy says a lot of things a president should never say.
Yeah, he does. He does. Are you both happy or just a bit jealous of Stuckman right now? Well, I'm not a filmmaker. Why would I be jealous of Stuckman? Jeff, are you jealous?
I mean, I'm jealous that Stuckman's living the life now, and he, seems to have a movie that will do well, and he'll probably get another opportunity to direct.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm jealous of, is that he gets to tell stories, but not really. That's not really what I necessarily wanted to do. I haven't pursued it, but I'm happy for Chris. I'm proud of him. Like, it obviously took a lot of work and a lot of connections, and he pulled it off.
Yeah, I mean, like if Jeff and I were screenwriters constantly, banging on the doors, I think that'd be a different conversation. But we're not, And Jeff is very successful doing what he's doing.
I do want to write, though. I do. I mean, I have gotten the bug lately.
Okay. Good. Well, I support you 1,000%. Fred Tastic 314 says, "Hey, my hot mic, showing my support for the show. Thank you, Fred. Wasn't impressed with the Mando Grogu trailer. It was very, hey, folks, we're still here approach to advertising. I'd have rather seen another Gosling black and white picture than that." Just, wow. Okay. As I said, the trailer was kind of divisive. Some people liked it, some people didn't. Doug Developer says, "Hey, Rocha, no questions. Just want to say I'm so excited for this week's Cinephiles on the 40-year-old virgin. Hope we get your fantastic relationship commentary advice like you did with Chasing Amy and Crimes and Misdemeanors." Yeah, we just recorded part 1 today. It'll be out on Friday.
Where's my invite?
You're going to get invited soon. But you've said you won't sit 3 hours and discuss a movie. So
I was a 40-year-old virgin.
No, Jeff, you're not even 40 years old yet. And I know that thing. So cut it out.
Jesus Christ. Look, I look like fucking Uncle Fester. I gotta lose some pounds.
Hey, just talk to Greg Alba. He's got the magic.
I can't do that. I can't.
Okay.
I don't have that in me. I don't have that dog in me. I need like a cheat sheet. I need, what do I need Ozempic.
Don't cheat. I think everyone's got their path, so I'm not want to judge anybody using those kinds of things. But, yes, Doug. Anyway, we recorded part 1. We only got 30 minutes into the movie. That's how much we had to discuss around the movie. The movie has much more nuance to it than people think. It's not just a funny little sex comedy. There's a lot that goes on in that film that they're making commentary on throughout.
Way better movie than Moonlight and Parasite.
Wow. Ty Sani says, WB's Angelina Jolie, Halle Berry spy flick Maude versus Maude was announced in 2023, and it's been radio silence ever since. What are the odds of it actually get made? I think very little. Jeff?
Which one?
The Maude versus Maude, Angelina Jolie and Halle Berry. Who's clamoring for that?
Yeah, I mean, if that gets made, that'll be like streaming fare for Amazon or something.
Yeah, Jolie came out this weekend saying she doesn't want to. She doesn't recognize her country now, so I can't imagine she'd want to shoot something.
I don't recognize my country anymore. Where have you been the last 10 years, lady?
That's a good point. This is fine, dog. Does Jeff not understand that the issue is that the government forced him off the air? That's a big deal, no matter how long he was suspended for.
Again, there's another person. The government literally did not force him off the air. Literally did not force him off the air.
That's not true. I don't know how
true.
I don't know how you feel. Brendan Carr, his man in the FCC, literally
if they forced him off the air, wouldn't there be a piece of paper suggesting this?
Oh,
an email, a memo.
You sound like a mob lawyer. You know what? You sound like a mob lawyer. Hey,
I could have been a mob lawyer.
He didn't specifically say to kill. He just said it'd be better if he wasn't alive.
Literally did not take him off the air. It was a private company and then another private company.
Yeah, but they did that because of the intimidation factor from the FCC.
Or so you say. They say they didn't. So you say.
I simply said it'd be better if he wasn't around anymore. How can you convict him for that?
It's amazing. Like, this is why I'm the reporter and everybody else is not. Like, you can't just like make these things up. You can't just be like, well, this plus this equals this. So
I mean, listen, I know that you like to stand on your holier than thou mountain, but you have your biases and your prejudices
100%,
and your convenient erasure of facts to fit your narrative.
We all do.
All right.
When I think about it, I'm like, well, yeah, Jeff, I'm actually glad that you are the journalist here and that these random people are not, because that's what you get. You get these leaps of, well, this happened, and so Trump must be behind it, and the government told him. Actually, that didn't happen. But okay.
Well, you don't know if it didn't happen. You're just saying it didn't happen because you don't see a piece of paper. He also said, I'm surprised to see Jeff side with management in this situation over Jimmy, given his history. That's true, Jeff. I mean, you've been taken off the air before. You don't like that.
Exactly. I know of which I speak. And the exact same things that my bosses told me at the time are what I've been saying now. And back then, everyone seemed to go along. Oh, Jeff, of course, this makes sense. You know,
did they take you off to save you? Did they
when
take
I
you off?
say it in this situation, people were like, Jeff, you're crazy.
But did they take you off to save you from yourself? Is that what they told you?
Oh, I offered to. I was like, buy my Twitter, please. I'll sell you my Twitter feed, and I will disappear. You know how many times I offered to get off Twitter, and my employer was like, please don't do that, because it drove traffic for them.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean,
people don't know that.
That's the thing. I have been in this situation before. I feel like, but to a much, much smaller extent. I'm not trying to compare myself to Jimmy Kimmel,
right?
Or that he's speaking truth to the president and I'm speaking truth to some creative executive in Burbank.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I have a history of speaking truth to power, and I just thought it was so, like, knowing you can't just say whatever you want. There's, like, we've always been taught, freedom of speech is not freedom of consequences. There were consequences there. He upset millions of people. Don't agree with that, but that's what he did.
He did.
Fact.
I don't disagree with that.
And so something had to happen. And they needed a few days to figure out what should happen.
Right. But then in the end, nothing happened because he just got suspended. So whatever big stand ABC took or Disney took, it meant nothing in the end. Tim says, Johnny Boy, Campea covered a story about photos of some of the Doomsday cast. It was RDJ with his face scarred, Ian McClellan in a Magneto costume, and Letitia Wright in costume. Did you all see it, and is it legit? It looked very AI.
Yeah,
I did not see it. Did you see it, Jeff?
No, but I don't. Photos are too easily manipulable.
And sometimes those are done to promote certain things, but don't necessarily have to do with the movie. Doug Developer also says, grew up with Kimmel as an adolescent watching The Man Show. Love Kimmel today, but oh boy, the offensive stuff he did from blackface to air humping unknowing women while they look through a viewfinder. Surprised it didn't come back to really bite him. Well, it did. People brought it up, but people change. And so people gave him grace because that's what happens, Doug. You don't live off the mistakes you made in the past and are constantly vilified for them if you've shown that you've grown. That's something positive in our world, I would think. You'd want to celebrate that instead of.
And John, don't you think that Jimmy Kimmel, even though he can say whatever he wants, is going to show some contrition to the audience that he upset?
I don't think he will 100% show the contrition you might be alluding to. I think he's still going to make fun of Trump. I think he's actually going to call that memorial a rally. I think he's going to make little jokes about it. I think if maybe the public had turned against him in a lot more stronger way, and then he worked out the deal, then I think he'd be much more contrite. But I think in this way, he might say, I said some things, people took it in a certain way. It wasn't my intention. I understand. To those who got offended, I apologize. He might say that, but I don't think he's going to be like, guys, I totally fucked up. My bad. He's totally a leftist liberal. My bad. Because I don't think he believes that. I think a lot of people don't believe that. And I read that Vox Media fucking column that was offensive as fuck today about like, oh, liberals are doing themselves by saying this. Nonsense.
Yeah, I think that Disney ABC may ultimately have to make a contribution, but I don't think Kimmel will be the one who does it. And I think that'll be like his little victory.
Yeah.
That's if he wants Sinclair and Nexstar to lift they're preempting of his program.
Hey, I think now we're in a place. You're absolutely right. Now everybody needs to save face in the situation. So Jimmy gets to say what he wants to say, but on the other side, ABC is going to give money probably to Turning Point USA, which will let Sinclair go, hey, we put ABC to the fire and they donated. Now we're going to bring Kimmel back.
I agree. I do think that they will ultimately bring him back. 100%. But yeah, I don't know. It was so much more it seemed like I thought it was a very complicated thing, and people were just pretending that it wasn't complicated at all. And I think that's what drove me nuts.
Okay, that's fair. John Cross says, I'm behind, but wasn't Daniel Day-Lewis rumored for Magneto? Well, so is Denzel. I don't think he would do Magneto.
Daniel Day-Lewis is not unretiring so that he can have fun in the MCU and the DCU, guys. Whoo! Okay, yeah. Oh, God.
Do you think he watched Oppenheimer and was like, fuck, I could have done that? He'd have been amazing as Oppenheimer, Jeff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he cost himself a lot of good roles over the last 5-7 years.
Yeah. I think that's the Oscar another Oscar he could have won. Kyle was more rankings, best ocean, water, and movies. Best ocean? You don't get that for $2, Kyle. You get one question. Best ocean, Atlantic. There you go. Oh, Pacific, actually. Jeff, what's your best ocean?
The Gulf of...
Don't you dare. I'll fucking... You pay attention more than you let on, motherfucker.
Go ahead. Atlantic Ocean.
There you go, Atlantic. Pooch Shoot Rice says, go Browns. What a crazy last 5 minutes of the game. Rocha, there's a limited edition Ghost of Yote controller. Any updates on the Game of Thrones flick? Love you. Ooh, I'm going to get that. Yeah. The Browns, dude. Wow, what a shock win over the Packers.
The whole NFL this weekend with all the special teams plays. It was crazy, all the blocked kicks and shit.
You're so right. You're so right. Game of Thrones movie. Any updates? Is there going to be a Game of Thrones movie?
It beats me.
Everyone's gone their own directions. I can't imagine they would do it. Paul Hitchcock, Jeff, Sinners. Do you think the ending with Smoke and the KKK is not built out well enough to be a truly fitting climax for Smoke in the film?
Yes, I do agree with that. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, remember these guys from the beginning? Nah, I just didn't love it. I really like the very end where we see. Yeah. I won't spoil it.
Oh, me in the Cosby sweatshirt. Yeah. Sweater. Shay Markel says, it's nothing major. Grillo did a video interview with Men's Health. He bluntly stated all the superhero bodies are a result of using PEDs, etc. I mean, Jeff, to me, that's the big scandal that no one has reported on. That all of these people are using performance-enhancing drugs.
Well, eventually something will go horribly wrong, unfortunately, and someone will probably die, and then there'll be a big Rolling Stone or Vanity Fair article about it, and
yeah.
But yeah, until we see the effects on some of these actors, we'll never know.
Because we don't hear about any of them roid raging on set. We never hear about any of that shit. But yeah, I think they're absolutely using it.
You think Bruce took stuff?
Bruce
Willis.
Oh, I'd be surprised because he never got to be massive.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's why I asked. But I just wondered, if he did take stuff, if that would maybe have led to where he is now.
I'll tell you who my suspicions are. Hemsworth, because that's just not natural to be that size. I think sadly Alan Richardson might have done it for Reacher because he's massive in that fucking show. And I think Kumail Nanjiani because he got massive in a short amount of time. And to me, I have questions about it. Now, I'm not saying they did, right? I'm saying if I was to guess. No accusations. Because Grillo's in the fucking gym. Like he invited me to work out with him one time, and I was too intimidated to go because I think I would have killed me. Haunted_Autumn says, my penance for mistaking the cardigan for a bathrobe, Jeff. That being said, have you just considered wearing a bathrobe? Is your first time watching the show? Jeff has worn a bathrobe multiple times on this show.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of showing a little bathroom chest hair, but bathrobe chest hair. But no, that is not what the situation called for tonight. It called for a pink cardigan. Thank you.
Dragon King 72 Media LLC says, Jeff, the call is coming from inside the house. LOL.
Good movie.
Yeah. Wayne Edwards says, Rocha, I'm with you. I'm 55 years old and I've paid attention to politics and world events since I was a kid. There's a lot of crazy shit happening all over the planet. It's not a detriment to be aware. I know it isn't. Too many people think, oh, you're so obsessed with it. Like, why
ignorance is bliss. Join me on the dark side where ignorance is bliss.
No. Thank you, Wayne. I appreciate you, brother. I always appreciate you. And yes,
you're the man.
Being politically aware is not a negative. I don't know why people think that should be a negative. Kyle Wilson says, LOL, best Oceans movie. Oh, you got, Oceans 13 is my favorite.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That is a bad opinion.
You're insane.
Oceans 11 is the best Oceans movie.
Come on. There's a better villain in Oceans. Pacino as the villain is perfect in that movie. Come on now. You're insane. Oh, my diamonds. Where's my diamonds? I love it. Ellen Barkin, too. All right. Kyle Wilson says, I like Oceans 11. Any future installments? Yeah. Do we know of any future installments, Jeff?
Yes. Yeah. They'll get the gang back together for one.
You think? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That Margot Robbie one, though, with Gosling, I don't know if that'll ever happen.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't think so. Alan Smithy says, this Thursday, TCM kicks off a 24-hour programming block celebrating the 60th anniversary of the UCLA Film and TV Archive. That's my gig. Oh, I'm the Circulation Conservator. You better watch at least 1 hour, John and Jeff. I will absolutely watch that, man, depending on...
Love TCM, love old movies and supporting old movies, by which I mean The Fan.
I was just
watched this weekend. That is a golden oldie from 1996, I believe. De Niro, Snipes, Ellen Barkin, as you said.
That is a terrible movie. I don't know why you like that movie.
What?
Horrible movie, man. Oh,
Bobby, now do you care?
That was Wesley right at the end. That was Wesley right at the end of his bankability, man. Owen Hampton says, keep up the fight. The country is slipping into darkness and people are making excuses for it, or worse, they want it. I have to say, I disagree. I think what we get lost in is the extremism on both sides because they're so fucking loud on social media. But the middle is where a majority of people exist. And a majority of people are speaking out and stepping up and saying they don't like this authoritarianism instincts. And I think they should be encouraged by that. More people are speaking out against this than you think. And I think I know it can feel dark, but I'm saying I think Americans don't want to be controlled by either side. And they will push back by any means necessary when that shit happens. So, Jeff, anything you want to add to that?
James Gunn texting. Actually.
Oh, no, not again. Dragon King 72 Media LLC says, Rocha never stops speaking the truth and all of it. Well, that's why I have a show called The Truth. Thank you very much. All right. Is that everything? I think that's all the questions. Jeff, is there anything more you want to say about what's going on here?
Did anything break while we're on the air?
I don't know. Guys, did anything break? I'm looking at World of Real right now. No. Deadline.
All I have is an email from theinsnider.com that says Mike Joyce is unsubscribed. Wow, Mike Joyce, just twisting the knife. It's okay, buddy. I'll get you back.
MTV cancels Catfish, the TV show, after 9 seasons. Jeff, where are you going to go with this?
Now no one is going to know who's going to expose me. I mean, I have free reign to catfish as I please.
What? No, don't.
Yes.
Don't do it.
Guys, watch Catfish on Netflix, which is insane.
The high school one.
It's called Unknown Caller, the high school catfish movie. Holy shit.
I've got to see that. You know what? I might watch that tonight, brother, because the Lady Outlaw didn't want to watch it. She's out of town for the next few days, so I'm going to catch up on this kind of stuff. What else? Anything else? I don't know.
Subscribe to my newsletter, theinsnider.com. I'm sure I'll send out an issue soon enough. You'll love it. And,
what are your thoughts on this? Nolan elected president of DGA. Positive? Negative? You not want to talk about it. Wow. What? I didn't think that simple thing was going to cause you to stop.
No, I'm actually just milking it. I'm like letting you think that there's like a mystery to it. Like, oh, I can't discuss it. I know too much about him being elected DG.
How he got there.
No, that caught me off guard this weekend as well. Congrats to Chris Nolan, who knew that he had the time or
I know
with all that stuff. But yeah, he's going to fight the good fight on behalf of all of the town's directors, and God bless him for it.
God bless you. As for me, you can follow me at The Rocha Says on all social media platforms. Please remember to subscribe to the channel down below. Look, you love the hot mic coming to you now almost twice a week. Please make sure you subscribe down below so you know when we're dropping these episodes. It's important to hit that bell button as well. So close to 40,000 subscribers. Help us get across that line. Literally under 200 people need to subscribe for us to get across the 40,000 mark. Help us do that.
I could use 200 subscribers if people are just buying up subscriptions.
There you go. Please do that. And don't forget tomorrow, the Spill the Tequila, then Geek Buddies, and another Hot Mic show on Friday this week at 12 p.m. PT. And one battle after another. I'm seeing it tomorrow night, so I'll have my out-of-theater reaction for that as well. All right. For my brother, Jeff Sneider, I am John Rocha. This has been the Hot Mic. We'll talk to you next time. Peace. Take care. See you later.